Lionel Palasin is a product marketing engineer at ClickHouse, where he writes technical blog posts, builds public demos, and works to raise awareness of ClickHouse within the developer community. Previously, he spent several years at Elastic working with customers and writing about the stack. Today, Lionel will talk about the open source analytics platforms ClickHouse built together with Metabase to analyze Python and Ruby libraries trends. So Lionel, I'm happy to welcome you to the stage.
Hello, everybody. Thanks Metabase for having me. I'm super happy to be here. I will start by sharing my screen. Hopefully that will work. My slides should come up. I think they are visible. So yeah, I'm Lionel. I work for ClickHouse, and today I wanted to take that opportunity to talk about a project that we built with Metabase. We built an open source analytics platform to analyze like Python and Ruby libraries download usage. So it kind of like all started with a question, like developer ecosystem, they move very fast nowadays. And then how can keep track with trends? How can we know like what library is popular? If I'm a developer, what library I should use in my for my project? And we kind of focused mainly based on opportunity because we got a chance to get access to the PyPI download dataset and the RubyGems download dataset. So we thought, okay, we have this dataset. How can we use it to help people analyze technology trends and understand like where the ecosystem is going? So if you take Python packages, by example, this is a huge ecosystem. We have almost 1 million different Python packages built by open source developer. And if you take the number of times those packages have been not downloaded, the number today is 2.45 trillion downloads. So this is huge. RubyGem, I think it's a bit smaller community. We have about 210,000 different gems and data counted to 230 billion downloads. So those are our raw download events, and I think they are very interesting to use to understand trends in the ecosystem. What library are becoming popular? What are the libraries that are not so popular anymore? And there are other markers. I mean, you can read blog posts. There's also, if there's companies behind the Python library or the Ruby libraries, there will be like marketing claims about specific technology. GitHub stars are a great proxy. People will go and then vote for the project that they like. But we wanted to try different angles, and we had that raw download data sets. And then I really think that being able to analyze how many times a package for Python or gems for Ruby, how many times that has been downloaded, really give you a clear sense of the usage of the library. So I think it's great for two personas, like the developer, the Python developer, the Ruby developer who building application and wants to make the right decision when it comes to choosing dependencies. And for the open source developer who building this library, like, I'd be super interested to know like how many times my packages or my gems are being downloaded. So with that in mind, we built two applications, ClickPy and ClickGems. So one, ClickPy it's the open source analytic platform for the Python ecosystem, and ClickGems is for the Ruby ecosystem. They are very, very similar. They basically based on the same code base. Everything is open source, obviously. The only difference is the data set they're using, right? The ClickPy will use PyPI download data set, and then ClickGems or RubyGems download data set. I will do a demo of the application a bit later in that presentation, but just to get an idea, I added some screenshots in the slide, so you can see on the left part we have the landing page where you can see like an overview of like the top repository, recent releases, and we have other information on that landing page. And then you can go in and search for a specific package using the search bar, and then you access like a package page where you will get statistic about that specific package for Python. So by example, like download by Python version, download by country, download by system, and the top contributors, and so forth and so on. And you will get the same for on ClickGems. So to build this, obviously we had to ingest the raw data set, so 2.45 trillion events or rows for Python packages, and then 230 billions for RubyGems. So we need obviously a powerful analytical database, and naturally we use ClickHouse. So for those who are not familiar with what is ClickHouse, ClickHouse is an open source columnar OLAP database. So OLAP means it's an analytical database. It's a database that's designed to serve analytical queries, so queries that will do a lot of aggregation rather than transaction. Versus the other type of database are OLTP, who are more designed for transactional workload. So ClickHouse is more for analytical workload. And it's really designed to work at any scale, can ingest trillion of rows, as you can imagine, and it works just fine. To query ClickHouse, you use SQL, so it's very easy to integrate with. It's designed to process data very fast, thanks to the columnar data storage. Basically, each time you run a query, instead of reading all the rows, you will read only the columns that you need in that specific query, which speed up the query a lot. It's also very good at storing data efficiently. Again, thanks to the columnar data storage, you can put data that are similar, close to each other on disks, which allow you to really benefit for very good compression on disk. And finally, ClickHouse is designed to scale horizontally quite elegantly, so you can just add more nodes to add compute to process query faster. There is other analytical database on the market, but we believe ClickHouse is the fastest today. So here is just three single metrics that I think are very important. First, the fastest to ingest data. So just throw data at it and it will ingest it very quickly. It's very good for append only type of ingest. Then really good at executing query. Again, analytical workload are very easy for ClickHouse to execute. And finally, as I said, is really good at storing a large volume of data in a small amount of storage, thanks to very good data compression. So now we know what database we used. How do we ingest the data into ClickHouse to build ClickPy and ClickGems? The data ingest pipeline is very similar for ClickPy and ClickGems. Here we are looking at the one for ClickPy, and I will explain the slight difference for ClickGems. PyPI basically put all the raw download events in a large BigQuery table. So that's publicly available for anyone to go and look at. And so basically what we did is we have like a job in Google Cloud Compute that exports that data every day as a Parquet file and then store it in the Google Cloud storage bucket. And then we have ClickPipes. So it's a managed ingestion service that we run in ClickHouse Cloud that can take data from various data sources. In that case, we connect it to the Google Cloud storage bucket. And each time there is new data in that bucket, ClickPipe automatically take that data and ingest it into ClickHouse Cloud. And for RubyGems, the only small difference is we're working with Ruby Central that basically send the data into a Google Cloud Storage bucket. We don't have the BigQuery intermediary storage here. In terms of volume, we account for about 4 billion rows added every day in ClickHouse. So that's the average since the beginning of 2026. Obviously, PyPI is a major share of that. RubyGems is an ecosystem that's a bit smaller than the Python ecosystem. So now we come probably to the most complicated part is how do you model the data in ClickHouse so your application remain fast. Today, ClickPy and ClickGems are public application, so it's free for anyone to go and then look at any package or gems and then search for it and then show the chart. So we have quite a large traffic on those applications. So we have to make sure ClickHouse in the back end can sustain all the queries. So it was very important to model the data in the right way to serve those queries very fast. So let's have a look to how we did that. So here we're taking the example of ClickPy, but ClickGems is based on the exact same model. So we have the data that's coming into one big table called PyPI. So if I were to do select count on that table, I will probably get 2.46 to 2.47 trillion rows as a result. And so each time we display a chart, we don't really want to go in and then do a query on that large table. So what we do is we pre-aggregate the data using materialized view. It's a very common pattern in the ClickHouse to basically speed up queries. So we have materialized view that will run a query each time we get new rows in PyPI and then store that result into a separate table. Then it's very simple. ClickPy is a React application built with Next.js. It's using the ClickHouse client JavaScript to run SQL query to execute the query, get the data from ClickHouse, and build the chart. Everything is open source. I put the link on the top right corner of the slide if anyone is interested in replicating that. ClickGems again, same code base, just different branch using a different dataset source. And I think that's a bit of the cherry on the top. Metabase really come here and then close the loop, especially as we build this platform for the open source community. We really want to provide a ways for anyone who's interested in a package or is a package developer or gems developer or just interested in sharing more about a specific library. We wanted to provide a way for anyone to go in and share those charts anywhere on the web. And that's where we work with Metabase, and they agreed to help us providing that functionality for free on ClickPy and ClickGems. So thanks for them. And so basically on ClickPy and ClickGems, on any single chart, we have now a button where you can basically build a link to the corresponding charts in Metabase. So now you can just take that chart and then any developer could share that into their blog, into their GitHub repository to basically show real usage of that specific library. It's all free, right? ClickHouse is powering the query, Metabase is rendering the chart. So it's very good to see like open source first community companies coming together to build a platform for the open source community. And we are seeing usage taking up. So here on the top, you see an example of one chart displayed in Metabase. And at the bottom, we can see some statistics from the Metabase admin dashboard, where we see like recently we started to get more and more usage of those charts. So that's great to see. Let's have a look. let's do a quick demo. So here, I'm just gonna navigate to clickpy.clickhouse.com. So we have our main landing page, and we can see like that we have now 2.48 trillion download data actually, and yeah, about 920,000 Python packages. We can see the top repositories, the recent releases. The top repos, they always stay the same. I mean, those are the top 5 most downloaded Python packages. I don't think they're gonna change too much. But those are more interesting. The emerging repos are the repository that's accounting for like the biggest growth over the last 3 months. We get the stable packages, the packages that doesn't move so much. And I can go ahead and then just like click on one of the library and then get like statistic about that specific library. So I can get like the download per version, the download over time, so I can see the growth over time, or per version, per system, per country. So we have like a lot of different ways of breaking up the data. What's interesting as well is we the ClickHouse deployment that powers this application is open for anyone to go in and create the data using SQL. So we have this SQL playground that basically allow you to do this, but you could use a ClickHouse client as well if you want to. And here you can see the query that we actually run to build the chart. And you can run it here and then get the raw data, and you can go and modify the query if you want to change, and then see if you want to slice and dice the data in another way. And finally, what I was talking about here, you have a button where you can either copy the chart link or directly copy the embed code. So you can basically put that chart directly into any website. So that's it for me. Thanks for your attention. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate.
Thanks so much, Lionel. Great presentation. There's also 2 links to ClickGems and ClickPy in the chat if you want to click around and see how the real thing works. I have a question. So ClickHouse is famous for fast querying. If somebody in this room wants to build something similar, at what level of data complexity or what volume you would recommend using ClickHouse?
I mean, literally, I think at any data scale, as long as the use case is right. I think again, it's a database designed for analytical workload. So yeah, any data set that you want to build a dashboard on top of it, a chart on top of it, I think it's a good candidate for ClickHouse. Yeah, but I don't think there's like a minimal data sets scale to begin with.
Got it. Thanks, Lionel. Thanks for the demo. We enjoyed working on this project with you a lot. So thanks for joining. And